Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Saturday, March 21st, 2026. And I think yesterday might have been the spring equinox or the first day of spring, something like that. And I am going to a praise and paint event today. So that should be fun. And that's with Angelique's Community Center, or Angelique's Paint Center over in Henderson or close to Henderson. And I've been to several of her paint events before, but I've never been to Praise and Paint. And I think that's going to be fun. I think also too, I had a great time at the Rewax and Unwind event yesterday. It's at a place called Rewax and Unwind, and that was with the Las Vegas Brunch Bunch. And, life is good when you just are around fun people, And I think what's hilarious is that, what they do is that they have you pour your candle, pick your fragrance, and then, they serve wine, and I didn't drink any wine. And then what you do is you you mix your fragrances, then you pour your fragrance into the candle jar. You pick your candle jar as well, and then you pour your fragrance. See if you want to mix any fragrances together, and then what you do is you pour the fragrance in the jar. And then you pour the wax in the jar, and then you stir it. And then there's a curing time that takes place that you have to wait for your candle to, cure and harden and all that. And so then they do trivia and karaoke. And karaoke was pretty funny, especially one of the girls who was with our group. She was wild. And so anyways, I have a lot of good footage of that, but I'm not going to probably put it all attached to my vlog. But I have a lot of good footage, and so she was hilarious. And so anyway, the other thing I wanted to say, so it was a good time, and definitely recommend that place for parties or groups or events and stuff like that, especially if you like to do karaoke. And so you have to wait 2 days to burn your candle. So the real test will be, how does it smell? I'll be interested to see how it smells. Anyway, I just also wanted to come on here to shout out my mom. Sometimes people in life, do really nice things for you. And, my mom doesn't like to be public on social media at all. Like she's not a social media person. And, so I can't really disclose too much about, the things that she's done for me, but financially, she has done a lot for me. And I just want to shout her out. And I appreciate the material things that she's done for me, because it's been a lot. And even in 2024, when I was in the hospital and I had the emergency surgery, she came down to Vegas and stayed here for 2 weeks to take care of me. And so I would say that even though me and my mom, we don't always see eye to eye on everything, but this morning I was writing in my journal, and I was just thinking about how grateful I am for all the things that she has done for me, especially financially. She has really allowed me to live an enjoyable life and not have to struggle. I did struggle for quite a while when I quit my corporate career and wanted to be an artist. And I was definitely a struggling artist. But she has begrudgingly or not, supported me throughout all of my decision making. And I was going to say wild decision making. Like I said, sometimes begrudgingly. And so it's not always been easy to get that support. But ultimately, if I have fought for it, she has supported. And like I said, sometimes I do get frustrated with the having to fight for it part, but she has supported a lot, and she's done a lot for me. And so shout out to her. I love her. I appreciate her. All right. Anyways, more to come. Talk to you later. Oh, and the other thing that I was going to say that was hilarious about last night is all the different musical choices. And then at one point they had chosen Kirk Franklin's Stomp. And then immediately after that, there was another song that had a bunch of cuss words and the N word and everything else. And I was just like, I just love people who have a love of God and appreciation spiritually and all the things, but are also still about that other life and other music and cussing and all that. I just love that, because that's how I am too. Is like, I just run the gamut, and it's like, anyway, God is not a man in the sky to me anyway. And so it's not like I'm thinking, oh, there's a man in the sky that's going to judge me for saying the F word or whatever, But I just love being able to find people who are like me in that way, in the sense of like, accepting all parts of themselves and making it okay and not being overly pious. And I love that. I absolutely love it. So when I can find people that fit my tribe in that way, where it's not like, overly like quote unquote Christian and there's nothing wrong with being Christian. So I don't even want to make it sound like that, but you guys know what I mean. And I just like people who are real. I'm not saying Christians are not real. Anyways, maybe I'll figure out a better way to articulate it, but I know what I mean. And I know that I'm glad that I find people who can, on the one hand, talk about God, talk about things spiritual and all the things, quote the Bible if they want to. I'm not a Bible quoter at all, but quote the Bible if they want to, but then at the same time, cuss, use the N word, talk about sex, and, even though I'm not interested in sex anymore, but just, not ashamed. I like that. Okay, so I know that there was a lot of music playing in the background when we were at this event. It's the location is called Rewax and Unwind, and it's, I believe, a Black-owned establishment located in Henderson. And what you're seeing right now is a lot of the content that all of us gathered while we were at the event. And I'm just going to give a little bit of narration because of the music playing in the background. I can't actually play the audio of the video because YouTube will give me a copyright strike, and I don't want that. But as you can see, this is me smelling my fragrances that I picked out. What they do is they tell you to pick out 4 fragrances that you think will blend well together. So I picked jasmine, gardenia, lavender, and coconut. And then these are the other ladies in our group. Our table was Las Vegas Brunch Bunch, and then there were 2 other groups or tables, and those ladies were all family, I think, that had come to the event outside of our group. And so you can see us picking our fragrances, and we got to pick our vessels, and our vessels are the candle holders. And you can see everyone is smelling their fragrances, trying to see what will blend well together. And I don't know if I've lost my sense of smell since I smoked cigarettes and I used to inhale the smoke through my nose, but the smells weren't really that strong to me. And so it'll be interesting when I finally do decide to burn my candle to see what it actually smells like. But I'm trying to let it cure for a while. And this is me stirring my fragrance. I think I mixed jasmine, or no, yeah, jasmine and gardenia together. They had so many different fragrances that you could choose from at the location. And then you can see me pouring lavender into my purple vessel. And I did upgrade to a larger vessel. And then the other fragrance, like I said, was jasmine and gardenia that I had chosen. And these are the ladies mixing their fragrances together. They had, florals. They had scents like baby powder and axe, and they had scents like wood, more woodsy. I don't know if it was called woodsy, but more earthy type of fragrances. They had so many different fragrances that you could choose from. But when it comes to candles, tend to kind of stick to my favorites. And like I said, because I don't have a strong sense of smell, some of the fragrances weren't that strong to me. In fact, I think I told them to take the coconut back because I couldn't smell really anything. And so now you can see that some of us are starting to pour our wax into the vessels. And, the candle pouring experience really doesn't take a lot of effort or work. And I'm sure it takes a lot of work behind the scenes to make the candles look good and everything. But from a user's experience, it really doesn't take much. You kind of pick your fragrances, you blend your fragrances or mix them up, and then you pour the fragrance in the vessel, then you pour the wax, and then you're pretty much done. So this is me pouring my wax into my first larger vessel, and then I don't know if I got footage of me pouring it into the smaller vessel, but yeah, let's see what else is going on here. And then you stir the fragrance. Oh yeah, there's my little subscribe, just to remind you to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. And anyway, we're now mixing the fragrance in with the wax, and then after that comes the curing. So what is clever about this place is that they're smart enough to know that it takes time for the candle to cure. So what they have you do is they have some trivia, and then they have karaoke. So this first song was popular. They chose No Scrubs, and that was fun. And so you'll see me jump in on the action and sing a little bit, although you won't hear the audio because, like I said, YouTube quickly will strike you down sometimes if you get too much footage of actual music that you're supposed to license. But this was us having fun with the other groups of ladies. Oh, and by the way, our team name for our group was Boom Shakalaka. That was, you'll see coming up, there's a girl named Erica. Oh, this is me coming up and singing No Scrubs. Wanna get with me with no money? Oh no, I don't want no. So anyway, that was my moment to shine. But anyways, you'll see coming up in the karaoke, there's a girl named Erica in our group who was quite the karaoke singer, and she was quite the character. And so that's Erica in the black dress, and you'll see some pretty funny stuff coming from her. So it's too bad that I can't actually show the audio of the actual singing, because like I said, she put on quite a show for us. But the point is that Rewax and Unwind are clever in that they do trivia and karaoke while your candles are curing, and it's a way to keep us entertained while we wait for our candles to cure. But anyway, here goes Erica. And like I said, she was quite the character. You can go to my Instagram or Facebook page and see some of the video footage. So far, it doesn't seem like Meta has muted some of the videos that I posted. But I'm not going to take a chance and play the audio on YouTube. But as you can see, the audience really loved Erica and Angela with the karaoke. But anyway, I am not going to narrate this whole video. It's another 6 minutes long. But enjoy the footage and the background music. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to Rewax and Unwind in Henderson. They're on Eastern. I don't know the exact address, but yeah, you can find them on Eastern. They're over not too far from Silverado Ranch. And there goes Erica putting on a show. One of the songs they chose was Contagious, and I don't know if that's what she's singing right now. But anyway, enjoy.